Welcome back to the Rezoomex podcast, where we explore the real stories behind transformation, not just the technology, but the people, the culture, and the breakthroughs that shape the future. I'm your host, Aria, and today we're diving into a fascinating case study from one of the largest financial institutions in the world, Aurora Financial Group. They launched an ambitious innovation initiative. It failed. But what happened next is the part that matters most. Joining me today is Vinayak Joglekar, who's going to walk us through how Aurora's story could shift from resistance to reinvention. Vinayak, welcome.
Thanks, Arya. Great to be here. Aurora is an incredible example because they represent what so many large enterprises face today. They are one of the biggest investment and financial services firms globally, managing more than 15 trillion in assets with over 70,000 employees worldwide. To stay ahead of fintech disruption, they created something called the Aurora Innovation Lab, or AIL. The mandate was clear: prototype the future before the future disrupts you.
And that's where Project Verdant comes in?
Exactly. Inside AIL, they launched Project Verdant, a next generation brokerage and custody platform. The vision was bold: cloud native, API first, real time trading and settlement, brokerage as a service for fintechs, credit unions, and RIAs. The goal was embedded investing, making investing available inside any digital platform, not just traditional brokerages. It was technically brilliant.
Verdant also had an external pilot, right?
Yes, they partnered with FinEdge Technologies and in September 2025 launched a pilot with Cascadia Community Credit Union, about $9.4 billion in assets. The pilot began with 1,000 employees with plans to expand to full members. It was seen internally as life or death.
So Aurora Innovation Lab builds the future. The platform is modern. The market wants embedded finance. Why did it fail?
Because technology wasn't the problem, people were. Project Verdant overlapped with Aurora's existing brokerage organization, teams that had been running core systems for decades. And after cost control measures and layoffs, those legacy teams didn't see Verdant as innovation. They saw it as replacement. They thought, if this succeeds, what happens to us?
That's such a powerful point. Innovation wasn't exciting, it was threatening.
Exactly. Legacy teams saw it as a threat to jobs and budgets. Compliance became a blocking tool. Governance became a weapon. Not because people were bad, but because people were scared. But then regulatory scrutiny intensified. FINRA and NCUA demanded exhaustive validation, AML/KYC, audit trails, disclosures, vendor oversight. The rollout slowed, months passed, Cascadia lost momentum, and eventually they withdrew. Verdant entered indefinite pause.
So the failure wasn't because the platform couldn't work, it was because the organization couldn't move together.
Perfectly said. Innovation failed because it was isolated. AIL built something for the legacy teams, not with them.
So here's the big question: how could this have been turned into success?
Aurora's case shows the path forward clearly. The solution isn't another innovation lab. The solution is ownership. Rezoomex proposed a different model: embed engineers inside the tenured brokerage teams, not outside and not separate, inside. Treat the legacy subject matter experts as architects, not obstacles.
That's such a mindset shift. Instead of move aside, it becomes help lead.
Exactly. And this is where AI changes everything.
Let's talk about that. How does AI help here?
AI makes innovation distributed. In the past, only specialized innovation teams could build platforms like Verdant. Now, Gen AI and agentic workflows allow tenured teams to become builders. Aurora's compliance experts, brokerage subject matter experts, operations leaders, they can codify their knowledge into reusable templates. Compliance becomes a product feature, not a blocker. AI turns governance into acceleration.
So instead of compliance slowing things down, compliance becomes the engine.
Yes. With daisy chain agents, Aurora teams could rapidly generate requirements, controls mapping, documentation, audit ready workflows, and suddenly the people who feared replacement become creators.
And what was the first step?
Modular rollout starting with onboarding workflows. They start with something highly regulated, KYC plus AML onboarding, and build trust, then expand outward.
That's powerful. So the new storyline becomes
Then innovation perceived as threat, compliance used as blocker, single pilot dependency, or now innovation owned by tenured teams, compliance designed as scalable product.
that's how you build the future safely, one confident step at a time. Vinayak, what's the deeper lesson here?
The lesson is simple. Innovation fails when it is done to people. Innovation succeeds when it is built with people. Aurora's tenured employees weren't the barrier, they were the missing ingredient. AI makes it possible for them to shape the platform themselves. They become creators of their own future, not victims of disruption.
That is such a hopeful message. Aurora's story reminds us that transformation isn't about replacing legacy. It's about inviting legacy into the future. Vinayak, thank you for joining us on the Rezoomex podcast.
Thank you, Arya. Always a pleasure.
And to our listeners, if your organization is struggling with innovation resistance, maybe the answer isn't pushing harder, maybe the answer is embedding deeper and empowering your teams with AI. Until next time, this is Arya signing off from the Rezoomex podcast.